My name is Jessica Garcia de Paz. My ethnic background consists of Mexican and Salvadorian descent. I am a student, I am a daughter, I am a sister, I am a partner, and I'm also a student affairs practitioner that is dedicated to increasing multicultural affairs at universities nationwide. I grew up in Seaside, California. With a population of 35,000 residents, this area is unique in terms of residents' ethnic backgrounds. Seaside is a working, lower middle class city populated with persons of diverse ethnic backgrounds. Hispanic immigrants came to work in the tourist industry, specifically in hotels and restaurants, and cleaned the houses of the elite. The old Fort Ord military base, which closed in 1994, housed a large population of African Americans in the community. The Monterey Institute of International Studies and the Defense Language Institute brought in a large population of internationals from Asia, Europe, the Middle East, and other parts of the world. This allowed for schools in Seaside to enroll students from various backgrounds. Because I did my schooling in a diverse neighborhood and was exposed to various cultures, I am proud of my Hispanic background. But I do not define my ethnic identity around this fact. In order to understand my intersecting social identities, I turned to Ferdman and Gallego's model of Latino identity development. I identify myself as Latina integrated. Based on this orientation, I have a holistic self-concept that successfully integrates my Latina identity with other identities. I am more than willing to challenge racism, see myself as part of a larger multicultural framework inclusive of all people, and have an understanding for the racial constructs that exist in this country. This piece of my identity has also allowed me to integrate with my peers without feeling like I was different based on my ethnicity. The Social Change Model of Leadership and the text Social Justice, Multicultural Counseling and Practice by Hee-Sun Jun have helped me understand the importance of maintaining a diverse perspective in my professional work. As a student affairs professional, I have learned how to accept that there are multiple truths that I can hold. The isms that I have heard through my advising sessions with students have also served as lessons on how to handle what triggers me. My upbringing is what exposed me to my multicultural framework that I currently have. It is important to actively listen for isms when you are talking to clients or students and ask questions to get to the root of where the ism is coming from. From my experience, I have heard racism towards people of color, sizeism within my own culture, ageism with non-traditional students in college, and the list goes on. In order to maintain a culturally diverse perspective in my work and to continue developing not only me, but my students and peers' cultural competency, I need to address all forms of hierarchical thinking. According to Jun, when individuals put others or themselves into a superior or an inferior position, they are using hierarchical thinking. Asking a client for specific information rather than going by the client's interpretation of the situation provides us with more information about them. When the client says, "She thinks she is better than me," something you may want to ask is, "What did your friend say to do to make you think that?" Or, "How do you know that?" Now, let's practice. Think of a time when you, a client or student, made a comment that was framed around hierarchical thinking. Something you might want to ask yourself or your client or student is, when were you exposed to that? After some thought, another question you want to follow up with is, did your parents, school teachers, siblings think this way? And if so, what did they say? And finally, how do these statements shape the way you think? After taking this course, I am now able to frame better questions to effectively challenge my students to see through a diverse and inclusive lens. My passion for social justice and ability to hold controversy with civility has increased based on my learning and interactions from both student affairs professionals and counselors. Through the intersectional interview, I have learned to a greater capacity the value of learning one's story along with historical context of the storyteller's era. Personally, I feel confident to address the impact of the many isms that occur in my daily world, both professionally and personally.